Definitely a team whose drafts have been fun to watch. We'll see what Ole has in the back pocket.
Yeah, we had a fun one last time. It was funny hearing Core JJ take credit kind of for Golden Guardians. Earlier today in the interview, he's like, we showed you another disgusting comp because we made Sona TK.
Yeah.
You know, now they're doing it with Seraphine and Swain. But I was like, wait a minute, I cast that game last week. It was a Golden Guardians game. You just copied their homework, and now you're saying you did this. Core JJ stealing from Golden Guardians.
I made this. As Taliyah looking to be lining up as the first pick here, seeing a bit more popularity. We'll see if it does get locked in though. Nas Santa Callistazeri, Poppy hitting the ban table.
I was gonna say Poopy's banned out, so that's seems to be the first pick, or at least the jungler who became most relevant. It was a little surprised to see how long it took for it to get taken in game one, but now ever since then it's almost first pick or first rotation. So with that gone, Taliyah more popular. A lot of people have been taking Taliyah. They haven't always paired her with good gank setup.
Yes.
Hopefully we see a little bit more from that in the lanes for FlyQuest.
Yeah, whether that is toucouille champion or Josedeodo's, obviously Taliyah does want some help to really maximize her damage. Aphelios though, looks like he's coming back into the fold just a little bit, and Wukong going to be a pretty good go-to, nice and reliable there for Pride Stalker in the jungle.
Yeah, one of his most played. This split 4 games on it thus far, 2 on everything else that isn't closest. Well, it's a lot of people's most played though. Wukong has been pretty good for a little bit now.
Ever since you know, talked about it as a top laner, eventually trickled down to the jungle after
a couple changes might have helped with that. The whole jumping walls thing.
Double ultis, what does it mean? It means Jinx and Tahm Kench for FlyQuest in a lot of time today as well.
Pretty stable, scaling bot lane. Feels like TK's been on the rise, Jinx has been on the rise a little bit. Seen it a fair amount, saw it just in the previous game as well.
Yep.
But I'm a little disappointed because Afro on Playmaker is always something I'm really excited to see. So to be on the TK, it's just not quite as cool to watch.
Afro, it says something about Afro's career that he is both known for his incredibly good engage play and also enchanters. Like, he has been around long enough that he has just performed on both classes of champions.
When you live through all the metas, suddenly you're known for everything. We see the Swain taken away by Golden Guardians. I think this, like, it just seems to be getting more and more disgusting.
This champ's nice.
I will say so far, FlyQuest does have some better tools to deal with it. Taliyah's not super long range, but the shove back and being able to kind of pelt him, Jinx outranging him a little bit. The annoying thing about his ultimate radius is that unless you're one of the attack damage carries with a steroid that increases your range, he usually outranges you just with his ult off. And so it's very hard to attack him and not also be getting vampire, whatever the birds are going after you.
I mean, the birds are one thing. The Rylai's is really hits
the Rylai
with the AD carries.
Yeah, so nice to have the Jinx in your back pocket already to kind of be able to hit him freely.
Yeah, Trundle, I said Santorin because he played Viego earlier today for Team Liquid. That's 2 junglers taken away from Jose. Of course, Taliyah could be the jungler, so might be wasted, but maybe not. We'll see what happens as Renata going to continue to hit the bans here in Phase 2 alongside Licorice's Fiora. Don't want to give him that one, especially on red side. Seems pretty sensible.
Yeah, he's played it a couple times. It's looked pretty good.
And now Braum. After all these different champions for Ole.
It's interesting because it feels like neither team is like, they both kind of have counter engage going on, but neither actually have great engage. I mean, it's basically the Wukong who can go in first for either of these teams thus far. The other one's now is TK, now you got Braum. Swain is like a mid-liner. You know, there's frontliners and divers and people who go in, then there's the back line who obviously are just going to sit there and free hit, and then he's kind of in the middle where you want to end up between the enemy team's back line and their front line, so you're kind of hitting everything at once. The problem is FlyQuest doesn't have anyone until they just took the Lee Sin here that really wanted to go in. So now it's a little surprising to see the Lee Sin picked into Braum. It can be frustrating sometimes if you have an ultimate time to knock you up as you're trying to start your insect combo, but Josedeodo's confident.
Certainly is. Definitely a champion he has a ton of games on throughout his career. Last pick, though, they were debating Gwen before, decided to take jungler instead. Maybe wanted a little bit more time to converse. But Gwen is going to be the pick there for Philip. We know Gwen can be quite good in both side lanes and in team fights, but it is not a classic tank, let's say, if they're really trying to go all in on 5v5.
Yeah, and it also is the first time Philip will be locking this one in, so his Gwen play will be under the test.
Ooh. Love a good Licorice counter pick on red side. Has played it once already. He did not win from memory.
We did not have a ton of Kale thus far. There was this one. There was, I think, a Fudge had a Kale game.
Yep.
And now we're going to be getting, I think it might be only the 3rd Kale of the split. I'd have to double check that, but second one for Licorice at least.
That's fine. Licorice, once upon a time, was in Philip's position somewhat. Younger, rookie top laner.
I appreciate that Philip, despite being a younger rookie top laner, has not shied away from skill matchups and carry champions so far. And I think he's impressed people more or less. you know, not like his laning phase is dominant or anything, but he's able to execute in the mid to late game situations where you could argue that's more important and also maybe a little bit harder to learn.
Yep.
You know, your laning will get better as you just play better players, as you spend more time in scrims against these top teams and stuff, moving up through the ranks. Learning when to go in and being confident.
We'll go in there for the poor cannon minion that did
-1, go to the A to everyone.
Jose is actually trying this here. Oh, instead just going to cover. Maybe go for a dive. This is very aggressive from FlyQuest. But the Christian trouble. There's the flash. Philip already taking tower aggro. And a bit of an oopsie, but there's one back as Jose does at least get the trade.
Okay, might look a little troll to do the flash ward hop, but absolutely necessary. The flash didn't get in the range to get out, and the ward hop would be too slow. Probably would have taken another turret shot if he just went for that. So it looked a little funny, but it probably needs to do both those to get out. A 1-for-1 though with first blood going over to Kale. You're not sad at all. TP right back into the wave and just kind of keep farming up actually a bit of gold to hit.
And different solo queues here as once again we're in top side here. Licorice, no flash from the previous attempt. Q lands, that should be a kill, and Jose gets it clean this time.
Much better kill, no trade back, punishing that Kale after pushing in the wave. You saw Pride Soccer just moved on down to the bot side of the map, and nice exploitation there by Josedeodo finding that kill.
Yep. Filled with a nice CS lead as a result as well.
Bot side as Ole, whoa.
Started the dive a little too early. Had 4 people pulled down, but Ole went in very aggressively. Also had toucouille and Jose covering for that play, so deflected very easily at the end of the day there for FlyQuest. Not in trouble despite the presence Golden Guardians pulled down there. And in fact, is there a follow-up here from Ole? Taking too many tower shots there. The ulti's going to come out. The Jinx Rocket, though, is going to secure the kill for Johnson.
toucouille with the nice ultimate catching Ole out without the flash available, knowing if I get on top of this guy, we can find the kill. But you said Johnson from downtown sniping the kill away, but toucouille really went and setting that one up.
I mean, we talked about, you know, Toucouille needs some assistance there to set things up. Jinx Rocket, kind of a
That's not really.
Licorice and Pride Soccer trying to make sure they don't get it. Licorice gonna get popped on. The eye's still there, and surely it's gonna dissolve. Indeed does. Ole tanks the incoming stun from toucouille, but everyone is going to live as long as Licorice can make it over. He has to flash, and Jose finds a kill on the other side. Braum going down. Kale, though, finding a kill in the back end. Is Philip also in trouble? Blazor able to pick that up, and Golden Guardian still not done. They defend the eye to the death, and Stixay now going off as Tom Kench has picked up 2 in that fight, but toucouille is so good on this champion, and Afro and he are going to outplay Golden Guardians.
4 for 5. FlyQuest win that fight. They get the ace for a moment. Some of the threats on Golden Guardian side, same with Jinx. Kale getting outranged, Swain getting outranged, and you get this kind of like standoff in mid lane that favors Golden or FlyQuest right now.
You kind of see why Ole's Braum is taking a beating from the enemy Talia, even though he's a Braum with the Unbreakable up. 2 items already done for toucouille. A beautiful flick to set himself up. Damage is out onto Ole. Jose is going to make sure the kill happens. And toucouille back in again. The rocket just barely sidestepped by a Blazor. Nice little stop juke there of the incoming missile. But FlyQuest still get a kill and the turret. That's what they came for.
Able to continue accelerating this gold lead almost up to 4K right at 20 minutes. Josedeodo's kick sending the Blaze Olive to safety a little bit.
Johnford again, pops the ghost. Jose in the back pocket. Afro here as well. Licorice already with the ulti pop. Pride Soccer coming to reinforce. There's the flash kick into the waiting arms of Philip. And now the TP in from toucouille is Philip. Now going to kite away. That stun is good, but that flick is better. toucouille just keeps on landing the skill shots, and Afro, he's getting in there. Aggro Tom Kench takes down the enemy jungler. And the Jinx Rocket's not enough for a Blaze Olive, but that's 2 quick ones for FlyQuest.
Golden Guardians with the quick reaction with the teleports coming in, but just don't have enough damage to find either kill. Both Philip and Josedeodo getting out with just under 20% health after finding those initial kills on the top in jungle. Now 20 seconds till Pride Soccer's up. Looks like a TP coming back in onto the Baron. They want to push this as far as they can.
Yeah, there is a wall as well for toucouille, so can potentially cut off the incoming jungler. Pride Soccer 10 seconds till he's back and available. Ole going to be the target, flicks him over the rocks. Nice little trick there on Ole. I mean, even with Unbreakable up, he cannot take on the enemy mid lane. And again, he just keeps on hitting Ole. Now going to be forced to flash. Stixay does take out Johnson, though. And now Licorice is in as well. They're going to have no smite to the Baron. Should go over indeed. Jose does find the smite, and Golden Guardians have to walk away.
Johnson getting a little too cute there, throwing his traps over the wall to be like, I'm helping. Puts him in range to get burst down by Stixay, but ultimately doesn't matter because Pride Stalker's still dead. No smite to contest. FlyQuest just refocus back on the Baron, grab that one.
Potential inhibitor take. You kind of just have to pick your battles right now for Golden Guardians. Your Kale, your team's not ready.
Do need to put up a bit of a defense though, so they don't grab this inhibitor turret.
Oh, really? You just don't miss, huh? Afro going to pick up yet another kill, but toucouy's 7th assist of the game. Feels like he should have a few more kills, but still been putting in work for the squad as they'll break 2 different inhibitor towers open, looking to maybe get at least 2 inhibs off this Baron push.
Super clean push by FlyQuest. toucoui with another unset up flick, finding not just the kill, but also the way into the base. It's not 10 more seconds before Ole is up. They might try and end this game.
Oh my goodness, the tower's getting absolutely obliterated. Jose looking for the very fancy flick back there with the kick, but aren't going to grab him, but the damage should be done. Afro with the save on the ulti. A Blaze Oliver Swain ulti ticking, trying to stay alive, but the damage, the gold, the walla, it is too much to sustain here against FlyQuest. The respawns are coming on in. Maybe they've bitten off a little bit too much, but toucouy's still going. Mans gets exhausted, almost bursts away, flashes away from Pridestalker, who puts the clone up to just barely protect himself. And they have to leave, but they didn't want to. They wanted the game to end right there.
They went for the end. Josedeodo once again could not quite find the kickback, not having his cleanest Lee Sin game, but luckily the team is there, able to help support him. And they could not end, but open Nexus. No one's saying anything, but there's a word right next to it.
It's a Leo wall as people make backs and they get trapped in the fountain. Instead, it's Golden Guardians going in for it. They know they have to fight. They're 10k behind them, but have to try and make it happen. toucoui getting grabbed up by Afro. Into stasis we go, but Philip with the flag just takes out the enemy AD carry. But man, it's still 1v3ing the enemy team, although it's a little too much right now, but he gets out just barely with enough health to survive. And now it's a 5v3 for the game as FlyQuest gonna absolutely sweep this one away from Golden Guardians. toucoui surfs on in for one last hurrah. Johnson gets a kill. The last kill's in their mind if they grab, but they don't need it. They'll take the Nexus mark. FlyQuest in style with the win over Golden Guardians.
Just under 30 minutes, a dominating victory for FlyQuest, stepping up to